up, beautiful people? How y'all feeling? How y'all doing? What's going on? Welcome back or welcome. So, you guys, the patio looks so good. OMG. I am so excited to tell y'all how I got to this finished result so that y'all can go out and do it yourselves and hopefully learn the lessons that I went through so you don't have to make the same mistakes that I did, so the process can go a lot smoother for y'all. We'll see how it holds up. I'll definitely be posting a month later and a 6 month later and maybe even a year later for any of you that are interested. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so first things first, moving the 80-pound bags from your dry area to your work area. I go ahead and use an old towel and I just drag it. I can lift the 80-pound bags, but I can't carry them. So the towel is the easiest way for me to get my bags from point A to point B. You cannot leave your cement out in the yard. It is covered in paper bags. Any rain, any moisture on the ground will seep into the bag. It will dry and you will not be able to use that cement because it will have already formed a mold in the bag. So I go ahead and, as you saw, cut a U in the bag. That's easiest for me, and then just let it drain out of the bag as I lift it so it's not as heavy on my body trying to lift the bag to empty the contents. I want you to pay attention to the consistency of this. I'm showing you 1 gallon of water per bag. I eventually go to start using 1.5 gallon per bag. The consistency is just a lot better. So this is thicker. It's a little harder to work with. It's still a nice consistency with this. But then when I started adding the 1.5 gallon, it was so much better. So if you want, go ahead and just start off with the 1.5 gallon because it's just, the final outcome is just a lot smoother and it looks nicer, and then it's easier to mix and work with. So at first I was filling the mold with that small trowel with the red handle, and that was taking so much time. And then eventually I started using the shovel, which is what the instructions say to use, but me, following the reference of someone else, was using the small trowel. The shovel is just so much better to use because you can pick up so much more volume of cement and add it to the mold, and then just use the trowel to spread it around the mold. It's just so much quicker. Just go ahead and use the shovel to add it to your mold, and then get a smaller tool to shift it around to make sure it fills all the individual sections. So that's what I did here. Right now, the cement I had wasn't enough for the mold, so I'm going to open another bag and I'm going to show you how I do 1.5 gallon. Now that you will see the consistency, it's a lot smoother. It's almost like chili. That's how I can, like meat chili, that's how I can describe it. It's just so much easier to work with. I used a milk jug and a water jug. Both were 1 gallon. I didn't spend any extra money. These were just things I already had around the house. I know a lot of people will say get a bucket or something like that, but if you already have a milk jug or a gallon water jug in your home, use what's in it and then just save it for this project. It works perfectly. Now, my father came to come help me with this second half of the project. The first half I have recorded on a different video. If you haven't seen that, go ahead and check it out, of some of what I've learned when I initially started this project. But my father was so kind to come help me finish the rest of this project because it is so taxing on the body. When I say it is a full workout and it is so hot outside, I'm talking 95 degrees, you're gonna be sweating, you're gonna be working out. So it's just nice to have extra hands come and help you, especially take away some steps, you know, like the mixing steps. So we would rotate. He would help me mix and then I would fill the molds, or he would fill the mold and I would spread the cement throughout the mold, and sometimes I would mix. It was just so much easier to have that additional person to help you with this project. Now, like I was saying, the consistency is like chili. You see how easy I'm going through it at this point? So then I'm just gonna go in and add more with the shovel, and then I'm gonna spread it around with that bigger trowel, and then I am going to pat and smooth it down with the smaller trowel. That is the process that was easiest for me, and I truly enjoy the outcome. I want the tops to be as smooth as possible because I like to walk around barefoot, and I know I'm going to be out here barefoot. I don't want anything that's sticking up or any little pebbles or rocks that have been molded down. I prefer it to be as smooth as possible. One concern that some may have is the slip factor because of that, but I haven't had any issues with slipping. It's still rough on the top, but when I say smooth, I mean like little pebbles, like as you see there. It's not going to be sticking up, stabbing you in the feet, but it's still a rough enough texture to where if it gets wet, you're not going to slip. So now, of course, you want to fill the mold to where you can no longer see the seams of each section, but you do want to remove the excess because we do not waste. We want to use all of the cement that came in that package because that is our hard-earned money, people, okay? So yes, I remove some as much as I can with the larger trowel, and then I go in and remove smaller amounts with the smaller trowel, and then I just continue to smooth. And now we're packing down and smoothing further. So I want it to look like a frosting or whipped butter consistency as I'm smoothing it out. And then once you lift the mold, you should have a smooth surface, including around the edges. If you see the lines around each section, if you want those to be smoother, you can smooth them out with your finger. I would test it first, let it dry so you can see what the consistency looks like once it's dry. I didn't like it, so I didn't continue doing that. And this is what the final product looks like with the help of my father. We did do some individual molds for that corner right there, and we just left them out to dry, and then we added them later. So now I am showing you how I attempted to do the edge. I was going to do one full snake down the edge, but that didn't work out, so I just ended up only hand molding them. But once everything dried, I actually wasn't going to do this project. Y'all weren't going to get this video this weekend. David fully surprised me. I was having a bad weekend. He surprised me and he went out and got all of the rest of the tools and items needed to complete the project, and a separate project that'll be in another video. But he was sweet enough to go get everything and finish the project for me. I was so happy. Like when he started, I ended up helping him eventually, but he ended up getting Quikrete sand. They only had 4 bags of the all-purpose sand in our Lowe's, which sucks, but then he found some other type of sand, so I'm curious to see how it will hold up as it rains and the wind and things like that, and us walking on it to see if it will truly stay in the cracks and prevent the molds from moving. So what we did was we of course added the sand, and then we swept the sand throughout the patio so that it can go through all the crevices. It just looks so good, y'all. I was so worried at first about how it would look with the sand in it. I was so scared because I loved the way it looked without it, but I knew it needed something in between those crevices, those cracks, and the second we added the sand, it looked so good. So as you can see, there are 2 different ways to open these bags. David opens the cement bags the same way he just opened the sand bag, and I do the U formation. So these DIY projects are whatever works for you, okay? We work smarter, not harder. So David and I eventually got to the point where he would spread the sand and I would start sweeping it in the crevices. Teamwork makes the dream work. Okay, so it just sped up the time and made it a lot quicker. He was so sweet to surprise me and get all the things we needed to finish it, and I couldn't just let him sit out there and do all of that by himself. So it turned out really nice. And here I am showing you what the edge looks like. The edge is a hot mess. So my thought process was, okay, I added the hand molded edging, but hopefully grass will grow up around it so it's a little more forgiving. But David had another idea because we do have, I think it's called spackle on the walls. It's like seashells on the wall. He wanted it to be like a little beach theme in the backyard, so we ended up filling the edge with sand fully. Here's a close-up of what it looks like once you start to brush the sand off the mold and in between the crevices. It just looks so nice. Instantly, it looks so nice. At first, I was not going to spray any water on it. I was just gonna let the rain hit it, but then we realized it's not gonna rain, and I wanted to set fully to see exactly what it was gonna look like. I was actually really impatient, but I do recommend spraying it regardless to see the final product and to set the sand, and the water went straight through the sand. That there was nothing flooding or pooling, especially in that back corner. But here's what it looks like once all the sand is swept through. It looks so good, guys. I'm so excited. So then I go ahead and spray it down so we can set that sand to see exactly what we're working with. Of course, it absorbed all the water perfectly, and it made everything just pop more, and it just cleaned up nicely. I didn't show this in this video, but after I sprayed it, let it dry a little, and then I swept off some of that residual sand off the tops, and it was perfect. Now, I'm saying perfect because it looks so good, and I'm so excited and happy with the outcome. Of course, some of you are gonna be like, it's not perfect, you know, but for me, I feel like we did a really good job. It looks really good. I'm really happy with the outcome. I'm ready to go shopping for some furniture so I can enjoy some sun, I can enjoy some stars. Wait till you see that second project that we hooked up. It's just, I'm gonna want to be outside all the time now once this fully comes together. But like I said, I will definitely show you all a 1 month follow-up update, a 6-month update, and a year update, just to see, you know, what happens with it. Does it stay in place? Does the sand run out? What's going on with it? Now you will see it's kind of like a mosaic. It's like different colors because the more water you add, the lighter the cement gets. And as you can see along the way, I was adding more water. So yeah. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. Again, send me your videos, your photos of your projects at my Instagram at True to Vibes. I would love to see them. I would love to see what you made with this project. It's so creative. It's so much fun. You can add colorant to it, make it completely different colors. You can do whatever you want with this type of project. It was so much fun. I love it so much. I'm so excited to get it fully furnished, you know, get the tiki torches and everything out there, get the fence redone. It's gonna look so nice. If you want to see more, of course, stick around. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you next time. Bye.